edition of Right Circle Rajputana and Prabha Khaitan Foundation. Please sit. It's actually a first in many ways for us because we've never had anything to do with wildlife and more specifically anything to do with tigers. And as I had pointed out to Sundeep while discussing who to call for the next Right Circle, and he came up with another man, and I was like, no! We've hardly had any women writers come up and speak, and what is wrong with you? So poor man was kind of just chided by me, and there we have the most celebrated and widely acclaimed wildlife conservationist, an Emmy Award winner for her film Land of the Tiger, and author of more than 5 books? 5 books, of which each one of you will be carrying back a copy, a signed copy today. And so with many, many stories and lots of experiences under her belt, we are in for a very fascinating session. And in conversation with Belinda is Balendu Singh ji, the honorary...
Belinda is a descendant of one such families in India. I think her tryst with the wildlife started when she was just born, I suppose, and she will tell us, I'll ask her and request her to take us through that story of her childhood, growing up, and getting into wildlife from, in the years gone by, shikar was a way of life, from that into protection and conservation, and today, as one of the leading conservationists and anti-poaching activists, not just in India, across Asia and in the world. Her journeys led her from conservation, writing, photography, making cinemas, and into her present status, which is one of the leading conservationists. So Belinda, it is story time. Why don't you take us through how did you your father was legendary himself. He was dictatorial the way he ran the club.
Yes.
And many people have seen that, but we are not objecting to his way of running the club. But please tell us, how did you start with wildlife and conservation?
I started very, very early. I have my own one, then you could interrupt me. Well, I started very early on because I was, I can actually show you a picture of it. Now, later?
I think yes. Now as we go on, I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I'll just show you a few pictures because it's kind of fun to work out what makes somebody. And well, I was born here, I was born in Calcutta, but and I'm completely and utterly devoted and besotted about India. Of course, people are always, when I wander around today, when I walked into a shop, they said, "Which country are you from?" You know, so and I've been very, very fortunate to have a mother and a father who were just as animal mad as I am. So that's kind of how it all started. I'll just show you a few pictures if I can work this out on this wonderful little iPad. I might need glasses. Most of us, not you, but most of us, when we were born and brought up, we just, the world has changed so fast, and I've tried to keep up with it and kind of use these new things. But certainly when I was born, there was no television, no mobiles, and people forget that. I mean, practically everybody who works with me is young in their 20s and 30s, and they have absolutely no idea of what it was like when we were growing up. And particularly in the jungle, where obviously you had no communication, you had, it was really, really hot, and I used to spend the summers there and things.
Yeah. I have two things. Your secret line which you started for anti-poaching, how successful is that line which you started for anti-poaching? And second thing is when talking about tigers, today's incidents which happened in the zoo, In Thailand, there is this particular Indian bouquet, they have this tiger kingdom, there is 43 tigers, and virtually all size of tigers are there from 2 months up to the youngest tiger, and you can enter the cage, you can play with them, you can take photographs of them. What actually, because they are not used to the human, they made them used to the human beings, or they are drugged, we have so much stories about them. They also being there, it's like people can just go, you can sleep with them, get photographed, and they all want because all 40 tigers are there. So in case you say the zoo tiger, in zoo tiger also should behave like the way they are behaving, or what actually is the fact? Thank you.
Well, the reason it's in Thailand, but unfortunately it really does have a very bad reputation. I know it's a big tourist draw, but there's a lady who's been working undercover there and stuff like that, and I have seen her material, and I don't think it's conclusive. But anyway, apparently the animals are drugged, and they keep changing the individuals. And that they have proved by using facial markings of the tigers. So somebody is buying and selling, and you know, suddenly old ones will become young ones, and the older ones, where do they go? And there's all sorts of unpleasant stuff that happens.